How's it going, everyone? Doc here with Eyes Wide Shot Gaming, and today we're going to break down a very odd build that works around the Cervine Keepsake. Stick around. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay up to date on all of your Remnant 2 news, info, builds, and breakdowns, as well as many other games. We are so close on our endeavor to 1,000 subscribers. Why not join us today? We are happy to announce that we do now offer memberships. Check them out and become an Eyes Wide Shot Gaming superfan. Let's get right into it. We begin with our primary archetype being Invoker. Since our build is very shield and defensive oriented, the main damage we deal will be coming from our skills and overall DOT damage. So Invoker will help us with the prime perk Visionary by doubling the base skill charges for all archetypes and lowering the skill cooldown by 10%. Our damage perk Entranced will also benefit us by increasing skill damage by 30%, our elemental damage by 15%, as well as increasing the critical chance of our skills and elemental damage by 5%. Our team perk Communion will also further reduce skill cooldowns by 1% and heals 2% of our max health once every 3 seconds for everyone while Invoker skill is active. With this archetype, the skill we went for is the Way of Kayula. This will allow us to cast a tidal wave dealing close to 700 damage and conjure a 30-meter rainstorm that gives our allies haste while drenching the enemies. The enemies that are drenched will have their movement speed reduced by 10%, and every few seconds a lightning strike will hit all enemies, dealing almost 1400 base shock damage split amongst all drenched targets. The secondary archetype we equip is Ritualist. Again, this will allow us to deal DOT damage while keeping ourselves protected. So our damage perk Wrath will increase all damage to enemies affected by negative status effect by 25%, as well as increase all critical chance against enemies affected by a negative status effect by 5%. Our skill of choice is, well, you guessed it, Miasma. Like I said, we are dealing damage with skills mostly, so Miasma will help us by casting an AoE burst that applies 4 different negative status effects to all enemies within 15 meters, dealing a total of 1800 base damage, which lasts 20 seconds. Now that we have our skills and main method of damage, let's look into our trinkets and see how we can keep ourselves protected throughout every engagement. Our amulet, the Cervine Keepsake, a brand new amulet that came with the Forgotten Kingdom DLC, is an amazing piece of gear that on relic use, we gain a stack of Call of the Doe for 30 seconds with a max of 5 stacks. Call of the Doe increases movement speed by 4% per stack, and when Call of the Doe expires, we regain 1 relic charge per stack. So when we use our Shielded Heart every 20 seconds, we keep the Call of the Doe stacks up, and after 30 seconds regain all 5 relic hearts back, giving us a free shield for 100 seconds without spending the actual relic heart. Our first ring is the Generating Band. With this ring, we regenerate 3% of max health per second a shield is active, and since we will constantly have a shield up, we will always be regenerating 3% of our max health. The second ring we equip is Closed Loop. With it, we gain 5% of max health as a shield for 10 seconds after a charged shot up to a max of 25% shield. And since our weapon is a charged weapon, we will constantly be gaining a shield, stacking with our Relic Heart shield and regenerating health from our first ring. Our third ring is Dense Silicon Ring. We gain 200% of health regenerated as mod power. This will allow us to constantly be pumping up our mod, giving us the chance to keep firing it off since we will always heal by having a shield. Finally, our last ring, the Tightly Wound Coil. Another ring granting us shield, so when we spend 75% of our magazine, we gain a shield for another 15% of our max health. Since our weapon is a single shot weapon, we will constantly gain this 15% shield along with other shields. Let's take a look at the weapons. We went with the Rupture Cannon again, but we can swap it out with any open mod slot weapon. And we equip the Firestorm mod to apply more burning damage with this whirling cyclone that sucks in nearby targets, dealing 259 fire damage per second. With it, we have Spirit Healer, the Mutator, to regenerate more health for ourselves and our allies. Our melee weapon is the Krell Axe, but we won't be using it often, so this can be swapped with any melee weapon you like. And our primary weapon, we used a Royal Hunting Bow. The reason for this or any other single-shot weapon lies with our last ring, the tightly wound coil, to gain more shield. With this bow, the mod we went with is Flying Bomb Trap to unleash more damage over time in the form of Corroded for 690 damage over 20 seconds. The mutator we went with is Slayer, which allows us to increase the damage of our weapon's next shot by 25% after reloading, as well as at level 10, our reload speed is increased by 15%. The relic heart we went with, as I've said before, is Shielded Heart, that grants a shield on use, but won't actually be spent due to our amulet, the Cervine Keepsake. With this relic heart, we use skill damage, skill cooldown, and shield effectiveness. On the right hand side, we see our traits, main focus being on expertise, vigor, and flashcaster. Let's take a look at how this build keeps us shielded up while dishing out tons of DOT. So as you can see, we use both of our skills to unleash our damage, followed by both mods, and with every shot of our bow, we gain a shield while having close to triple shield from our relic heart and charged bow shots. I hope this fun build enhances everyone's apocalypse runs, and if you know of a way to make this build better, don't forget to comment down below. And as always, thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and until next time, so long.